All right. So it wasn't perfect. It wasn't the debut we were necessarily looking for. It's not yet time to panic. I don't think. Was a good no, and the pitching staff allowed 17 hits, and the offense did nothing, and Herman Marquez looked like Cy Young. Other than that, and it rained, and it was 45 degrees.
Right.
But Padres fans were great, so we're here to
Yeah.
react to it. All right, John and Jim, wrap-up show is back for 2023. So as you make your way in, whether you're here live or on replay, you've got to subscribe. All right, we're going to be here through the good days and the bad days, and today is probably more of the latter than the former. But subscribe, smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Support with super chats by clicking the $sign below the chat box. Whatever you want to get off your chest, any questions you may have, you just want to, hate chat, so to speak. Click the $sign
Hate
below
chat.
the chat box. Also, if you want to become a member, we'll get custom emojis for members in 2023. Our buddy The Beef is back as a member. Supporter of this channel. He's great with supers. Thank you, The Beef, for becoming a member. If you want to become a member, you get emojis and badges, and it's a great way to support this channel. All right, let's start here. Considering everything, the Padres lead this game 2-1. Blake Snell was Blake Snell, which means he threw way too many pitches. And that's going to be a tough formula in April with how many games they have to play if these starters aren't going 5+ innings. But that was Blake Snell. So Snell, does enough, you think. But then, man, Krismat, Tapia, whomever else, nowhere near good enough tonight here, Jim.
Yeah, it was weird because, even with the pitch clock, it felt like a long game.
Yeah, it did. And it wasn't overly long. It really wasn't.
No, it's a Blake Snell special, right?
Yeah.
4 1/3. I mean, his line, honestly, if Chris Matt didn't give up those 2 home runs, 4 1/3, it would have been 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk?
Yeah, 9, yeah.
But it seemed like he left a lot of guys on base, a lot of hits. I mean, it wasn't a great night. It was not good at all. The Tapias of the world, the Chris Mads of the world, you're not going to see them in games that the Padres have leads in. They're just not. And unfortunately, the times you will see them will be in games like this, and you can't have this type of stuff happen where it becomes an insurmountable lead. You're down by 5-6 runs, and it's like, what are we doing here? And I said this today on John and Jim. It's not the Rockies are no pushovers here. They have some good talent, like CJ Cron.
Oh, you
good
look
hitter.
2-3. Look at their 2-3-4, dude. 10 hits.
Yeah,
10 hits.
Good hitter.
Yeah.
Chris Bryant, pretty good. He's won an MVP before. Charlie Blackmon, he is like Babe Ruth versus the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not like a Rockies team that is like the Oakland A's or, and it's baseball. A guy can go out there and have a great game any given night. Talent's not going to win you games. You have to go out there and actually perform. Bob Melvin talked about that the other day before the start of the season when he was asked about that very question. Is like, yeah, we might have a lot of talent, but we just can't go out there and expect to win every game just because we have maybe the most talent in baseball.
Yeah,
and that's
100%.
That was perfectly on display tonight. Padres, much more talented team than the Rockies, but the Padres pitching, like you said, a little problematic when you have 24 games in 25 days and you're a little bit of a mix and match with your rotation because you got guys injured or you have guys, getting ready for the season still. And Herman Marquez is literally the Padres killer.
Here's the thing, though, and it's one game, so who cares? But we do care. But there will be no excuses there'll be no excuse about the health of the team. I mean, the Rockies don't have Jurickson Profar. The Rockies aren't supposed to even win 80 games. They don't have Daniel Bard. I mean, they're gonna have to overcome that, obviously. Patman 0074, thank you for your support of the channel with the super chat. Gonna get you in 1 second. The amazing thing about this box score is Colorado with 17 hits struck out 17 times. It's only 27 outs in a game. They had 17 strikeouts, but they had 17 hits. And Cron is an absolute beast. The 2 home runs, 4 of 5, 5 home runs. Bryant 3 for 5. Blackmon, please, enough Charlie Blackmon. This is like 2 decades straight of this.
Seriously,
3 for 5. Patman, thank you. Says, I know we're all going to make jokes about the season being over. Well, we will.
We will.
But this was extremely disheartening. Yeah,
I mean, that too.
It wasn't. I guess the one part that was disheartening for me is that after the Rockies took a lead, Padres did nothing. So the Padres early on, got the manufactured the run in the first inning, sac fly. Bogarts was great. We can get into that. Scored another run in the fourth inning. So you're like, okay, they're up 2-1. Now they go down 4-2. The game's not over. It's the top of the fifth inning. They never threaten again. They made a threat. Carpenter had that long fly out with the tying run on base, or he would represent the tying run, but they didn't really threaten after the fourth inning. So that to me was the disheartening part of the game.
Here's another, you just look at this box score, right? Mm-hmm. Bogarts, amazing. Everything else, shit.
Yep.
And the team was 4 for 28 if you take Bogarts out, with 9 strikeouts and 1 walk.
Yeah. So they weren't seeing pitches. And Bogarts was great in his debut, 3 for 4. Did they walk one time as a team? Yeah, that's not good enough.
No.
And 0 for 10 with men in scoring position? Come on.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. Again, it's one game.
It's one game. It's fine.
Literally one
But
game.
Didn't it feel like it was there's a lot of it's just one game. Who cares?
Yeah.
Juan Soto didn't look good tonight.
Hasn't played in 10 days.
Yeah, I get it. But hey, man, on the backfield in Peoria, he was hitting the ball off the fences.
True. How about the ball that he let drop in front of him? I don't know if you were still in the ballpark for that. I mean, yeah, the ball's got to be caught. Again, not the difference between winning and losing. I think it was the 5th run or the 6th run for the Rockies. Just a dying quail that hung up there for forever. He didn't even make a play on it.
I will say, it's like a win a battle, lose a battle, win a war type of thing. If Soto dives for that ball all out, makes play,
you're right.
But it hurts his oblique, then
you're right.
Who cares?
You're 100% right.
It's not worth it at times.
You're right.
If it's a playoff game, then we got problems. But it's game 1.
You can't.
He's coming back from an oblique thing. I saw a lot of people on social media. Profar would have made that catch. Well,
he would have. He
would have. Tatis would have made that catch if he was out there. But guys, this is
for what? It's early.
I'm not gonna let it. Yeah.
Guys, as you make your way in, please subscribe. We're back. It's 2023. It's the wrap-up show. Subscribe, smash the like button, follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. And thank you guys for your support of this channel with the memberships and with the super chats. Click the $sign below the chat box, like our buddy Nick here. Thank you, Nick, for your support. He says, is Blake Snell the worst opening day starter ever? And I assume it's facetious. He is not. It's his second opening day start, and he really wasn't bad. He wasn't good, I didn't think. I think the 9 strikeouts, 1 walk makes it look better than it was. Way too many pitches, 93 pitches in 4 1/3 innings is a Blake Snell special. Now, again, he gets victimized by the 3-run home run that Crismatt allowed. Not entirely Blake Snell's fault, but kind of his fault because he's throwing too many pitches in too few innings, and that's been his MO. I mean, he just cannot work deep into games. I know this is start number 1, but I mean, you were hoping to get 5 innings out of him, and you don't.
And again, if Crismatt doesn't give up that home run there, then his line looks much better.
Mm-hmm.
But with him, it's always about pitch count and going deep into games. And he just, for whatever reason, I'll never figure it out. I feel like he can't go deep in games, and he always has a high pitch count. That's just his MO. And he'll have stretches where he's really good. He'll have stretches where he goes consistently 6 innings, 7 innings, but he just is never consistent over a full season. It's just he just never is, And I didn't hear it live on the broadcast, but did you hear Bob Melvin when he was asked about Blake Snell
tonight?
Yeah, on the broadcast.
No, I haven't heard anything. What did he say?
He kind of sighed and was like, got some control issues. Pitch count's a little too high, but we'll be fine.
I mean, Bob Melvin pulls no punches with Snell sometimes. Even yesterday when we were there, and like, oh, what do you expect out of Snell? He's like, dude, it's all on Snell. Like, it's an individual game. He's got to be good, and he didn't sound thrilled about Blake Snell. Honestly, he just didn't.
Interested to see what he says post game here, because we're back in it. Wrap up show after Padres games. Felt like we never have left.
I know. Right back in this dungeon with our lights on and
just, ruining relationships and
exactly. No big deal. You just got engaged, and I'm trying I'm trying to maintain a marriage.
Okay.
We might need Jesus, honestly, for this tonight. Jesus, thank you for the super chat. He says Soto got booed crazy when he let that fly ball drop. Is that right? Jim, I don't know if you were still in the building for that.
I left right before that.
Okay.
I was listening to it on the radio. But it didn't come across.
Yeah, day one booing, 45,000 in the building. I get it. We all care. The booing comes from a place of caring. Expectations through the roof. Everyone's thinking tonight. Padres are minus 225 favorites or something, heavy favorites in this game. You're going to Petco for the first time since the NLCS. You're thinking they're going to win. That's all we've talked about all offseason is how great the Padres are. But it is baseball, and great teams lose 60 times.
Yep.
So, and good teams can lose 70 times. 92 and 70 is a very good team. So, obviously, they're not going perfect, and it's not as easy as just, hey, you're better than the Rockies, so you're going to beat them every time you play them. We've watched way too much baseball, all of us in here.
Yep.
Live on replay, we've watched way too much of this, folks. We know how this works, and there's good times and bad times, and this is not the greatest start in the world, and hopefully they do bounce back tomorrow with Nick Martinez. But you don't want to, you prefer not to start in a hole where you're waiting for that. Oh, it's been 2 games. Oh, it's been 3 games. When are they going to win? Hopefully they can win tomorrow, and we can get this bad taste out of our mouth.
Yeah, it was just a bad game overall. Nothing to, overreact to the part where you're like, season's over, but at the same time, you don't want these types of trends to continue through
like 17 hits and bad bullpen. Again, we didn't see the 8 team of the bullpen, obviously. Can you look at the super, Jim, that is at 957? I just see a blue line, but I can't click on it for whatever reason. That used to happen last year a little bit. So after Jesus, looks like there it is. Thank you. Gus, what's up, Gus?
What's up, Gus?
What's up, Gus? Thank you for hanging out, man. Gus, longtime viewer, supporter, listener, Jim hater. Okay, so and me, he hates me as well. San Diego lost because Soto didn't walk. John's inner voice. No, San Diego lost because the bullpen was bad. The offense was okay at best, and it was just a bad game. I mean, it was literally a bad game, and because German Marquez was better than Blake Snell.
German Marquez is always better than whoever the Padres throw out there.
I know, it is weird.
I mean, I haven't looked at it, but I guarantee you his career versus the Padres, it's got to be like, I mean, Hall of Fame type of numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he always does well against the Padres. Always.
Yeah.
Charlie Blackmon always does well against the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
Always. She's a CJ Crone. He is turning into a guy who always does well against the Padres.
Well, the biggest example is obviously Charlie Blackmon.
Yeah, he is literally, as Brian said it in the chat here, Charlie Blackmon is Satan. He
kills the Padres.
He is the devil when it comes to facing the Padres.
I don't think he did as much, to be honest, last year, but man, in his career, he has had some absurd seasons against the Padres.
There was a time last year when I remember he sucked. And I think he came into Petco Park and he went like 6 for 15 in the series or something great. Like, what?
Yeah.
So
I know.
Yeah.
Well, let me get to another super here from our buddy, The Beef. Thank you for the super. Just click the $ in the chat box if you want to support, if you want to weigh in, if you want to interact with us. Thank you for your membership, The Beef, as well. He says, as bad as Snell was, he kept us in the game. Our normally stellar bullpen is what really dug the knife in. We'll win by 4+ runs tomorrow. I mean, remember with Chrismat, it was going well last year until it wasn't, and the dude was nowhere near the major league roster late. Okay, so that's fine. That was last year. I'm not saying that he can't play a viable role this year, but it wasn't good tonight. And then Tapia, listen, it was a nice story for like a week. He had like a nice week in spring training, and you need a 26th man. You need a back of a bullpen. You don't have all A+ relievers. I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one appearance. We ripped Robert Suarez last year after he let a home run in Arizona. But I wasn't overly thrilled with the back of the bullpen tonight, I guess is my takeaway.
Well, here's the problem why you're going to see guys like Tapia and Chrismat a lot is that Adrian Morejon can never stay healthy.
Yes.
Drew Pomeranz can never stay healthy. They DFA'd Michelle Baez. Nick Martinez is now a starter. That's why we're going to see Tapias of the world and the Chris Matts of the world and the
Honeywell is going to be your long guy,
and the Honeywells and the Stephen Wilsons of the world.
We saw tonight. Yep.
Because you have guys that are supposed to be there. They can't stay healthy.
Yeah. So here's who you use tonight. Chris Matt, inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs. Tapia, 2 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, no walks. You like. So his stuff was good enough at times. And then Stephen Wilson, an inning, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no runs. So that was your bullpen. I mean, the bullpen in, let's see, Jim, 4 2/3 innings, allowed 11 hits in 4 2/3 innings.
Yeah.
One game. And
it's
again,
game.
not hater, This isn't the best of your bullpen.
Yeah, you're not throwing out Garcia, Suarez, Hader from the postseason last year.
Right.
You're just not. And that's going to – you got to give it time to develop true roles in a bullpen.
This is funny from Gus. Tapia was the white flag. I mean, I don't know. I
don't think he was, but
I don't know. What was the score when he came in? 4-2?
Almost like back-to-back pitches, and it gives up back-to-back home runs.
That was so bad.
Oh, Jesus.
And how about the Cron homer, Jim? It would have left one ballpark in America. It was Petco.
I mean, come on.
And it hit off the very top of the wall, at the exact right height. And again, this happens.
Yeah.
But come on, if that stays in, who knows? I mean, maybe only a run scores. I mean, who knows what happens if that stays in?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it didn't.
Yeah.
Let me get back to the supers here. We're going to tell you about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz of Farmers Insurance, in a moment. He's back with us in 2023. Thank you for your support of our partners, by the way, here on the wrap-up show. Vector 53, what's going on, man? Thank you for your support. You've been with us the last couple of years, so thank you, Vector. He says, bummer to see the crowd's morale die slowly today. What was that like, Jim? Because when I was leaving, remember I had to get home because I'm leaving for Houston tomorrow. Right. And I'm listening to the roar of the crowd during introductions for all the players, the Machados and the Sotos and the Snells. And then the game starts and it's tied at 1 after 1. Fine. And it's take a 2-1 lead. Great. I mean, what happened once the game got tilted the other way?
I will say this. There's a couple things. Obviously, the Rockies having 17 hits was the major damper on the game. But the rain was not ideal. It was
that's true.
The game starts and the crowd's electric. Manny Machado gets announced. It's like, I mean, this guy's God here. It was deafening for Manny Machado. And right away, Blake Snell gives up a run in the first inning. Now they do come back and score and tie it back up. So that's great. Trent Grisham, lead off double there.
Yep.
But I will say a little bit, I mean, the rain playing a factor in this thing as far as the crowd, because it was just all of a sudden it just stopped. Yeah. It just stopped for 20 minutes or so because the field was shit and you had to go fix the field. And I feel like that played a little bit of a damper. And then the Rockies started piling on. And
once it's 7-2, it felt like it was over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not because Dinelson Lamet's pitching. I mean, when you can't score against Dinelson Lamet 2 on nobody out, then you've had a bad offensive night. I mean, we can say that. When you can't score against Dinelson Lamet 2 on nobody out, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we, Jake Cronenworth did not have a great night. I mean, shit. Everyone besides Bogarts offensively did not have a good night. It just wasn't a good night at all. That's pretty much it. I mean, you want to go to tomorrow night and the future of this team,
future of the team. I don't know if the team's going to exist.
You're going to sell it. Parade's off, guys.
Okay, a couple of things because Mark's in the chat, and I want to tell you about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz, but I also want to get to what he just said because I think he probably missed the first minute or two of the show. Because I said it, Mark, I'm with you. Absolutely has to make the play. For whatever reason, he's not going to make plays like that because he's just not. He's not a good defensive outfielder. Does it become a liability potentially late in games? It does, but you can't take him out because of his bat. But Soto absolutely needs to make that play. What our viewers need to do is contact Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, who's back for another season here on the wrap-up show as the title sponsor. We thank Mark once again for his support. Take it from us. I just picked up a life insurance policy through Mark. He made this thing so simple. I think we did it same day. And it was so affordable. I couldn't believe how affordable it was. We also have earthquake insurance through Mark and a homeowner's policy through Mark where He's literally saved my family thousands of dollars because we had a claim in here, and he can save you just by switching hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And who couldn't use that type of savings right now in 2023? So Mark is a San Diegan. He lives and dies on this stuff. He really does. We text all the time. He's texting with me during this game. If you support this channel and you want to support a local business, please support Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. There's a link to his website down below. Everything you need, you can get a quote online, but it's, whether it's life or auto or home or renters, the next time you have an insurance need, whether it's new, whether it's a renewal, before you do it, call Mark, and he's going to save you money. He'll talk to you about the Padres. You can get a quote from him, and he's just a great insurance agent with great service and communication. We've been saying it for now multiple years. So thank you, Mark, for being back here in 2023, and we're excited for our viewers to make sure to check you out when they have insurance needs.
Yeah, Mark, you better come say hi to us tomorrow.
Yeah, seriously.
What's going on here? Mark. It was crazy today. All his information is above my head, mnimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
Mark, can you get a quote over to Jesus, please?
Jesus needs some help.
Yeah.
On his life insurance.
Can you please get a quote for Jesus? Interesting. He's got the oblique. He's got the calf. He's going to be in the field a lot, Mark. I mean, he's going to be in the field a lot. I'm not saying he can't DH because he can to get him off his feet, but he's going to be in the field a lot. He's the left fielder,
That's just what it what you're going to get with Juan Soto. Him at the plate tonight looked a lot like Juan Soto last year at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's because he's had a week off, WBC Juan Soto and spring training Juan Soto was amazing. Tonight was last year Juan Soto. That's what it was.
Right.
Just, ground ball to second, strikeout. Like, it's not great. But defensively, you just gotta live with it.
And there's this too from Jason who says Soto's not going to make his bag as a DH. I mean, it's true. It's true. He's got to play in the field. I mean, this guy was, he's considered one of the great hitters in baseball. So he's gonna play in the field. He just is. He's got a good arm. He doesn't have good legs for being a 24-year-old. He just doesn't.
Yeah, he's very thick.
Pedro says to make a John Schaefer type of excuse that umpire. I can't blame the umpire tonight.
No, guys.
Listen, I'll blame umpires. I got no problem. I'm not saying it was perfect. It was not. But nope, that's not the difference tonight, I don't think.
Nope, it's not. There's no one to blame but the Padres here.
By the way, Mark says he's going to be back Monday. That's the Diamondback series, that 2-game series. And are you going to be at Blind Burrow? We're going to be at Blind Burrow tomorrow. Let's lay that out for our viewers, because if you ever want to, if you're in San Diego, we know a lot of you aren't, but you're just Padres fans. Maybe you grew up here. But if you're in San Diego all season long, when the team's at home on Fridays, we'll be at the Blind Burrow. When the team's on the road on Fridays, we'll be at Fair Play in North Park.
Yeah, all season. So Friday nights will always be a 6:40 first pitch at Petco Park, which is great. Yep. And we will be there from 3 to 6 Friday this year during home games at Blind Burrow across the street. And then away games, there's sometimes away games like 4 o'clock afternoon on Fridays.
But we're still there.
But we're going to be at Fair Play, or not Fair Play.
Fair Play.
Yeah, Fair Play. Sorry. Think of another place. Fair Play. So I think I counted it. Like,
it's got to be 20 something, right?
12 or 13 times at both locations during the season.
Makes sense. Yeah. Home and road. Yep. Makes sense. That's exactly right.
So
come on, Andrew, appreciate you saying this. He says, did you guys just finish radio too? We did, from 3 to 6. You need some sleep for a 6-month marathon. Much appreciated, every Padre fan. We appreciate you saying that, Andrew. It's a bit of a labor of love. And the truth is we're not even coming off an Aztecs football and basketball season. We're in an Aztecs football and basketball season, and that occupies a good amount of time as well. So we're excited.
I mean, John, probably you feel the same way. Like, there's a lot of work, right? But we'd rather be doing this than covering the Royals or whatever. Like give me a San Jose State. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'd rather be covering a team in the Final Four and a Padres team that is going to be hopefully really good than covering shit.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. And you guys know, I mean, we've been doing the wrap up show, whether it's on radio or YouTube now for 4 years, and there's good and bad. I mean, and that's the beauty. Honestly, the part I love most is riding the waves.
Yep.
The good and the bad, the highs and the lows, the beauty of a baseball season is all there. And even the great teams that have there's always adversity. There's always adversity. You like to pretend like there's not going to be. I mean, we could say they're going to win 116 games. Are they going to win 160? And even if they do, then there's the postseason. Dodgers won 116 games. Look what happened to them. Padres beat them, thankfully.
Right.
Let me get to this super that's just rolled in. If you're just making your way in, by the way, because there's a couple hundred people here live, I'm sure many more are going to be watching on replay. Thank you for your support of this channel. Subscribe. If you're a Padres fan, you got to subscribe. We're trying to hit that 5,000 subscriber total at some point here early in the season. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. And thank you for the supers, whether it's a super chat or a super thanks if you're watching on replay, like our buddy Jake, who's in Phoenix area. Thank you for your membership in the Super, Jake. Good to have you with us here. He says the pitching minus Wilson tonight was garbage in all caps. I mean, Snell was not good. The truth is, Jim, you're right. If Crone doesn't homer, maybe the line looks a lot better. But you were there. First inning jam, gets out of it. Second or third inning jam. This is how he pitches. 2 outs with 2 in scoring position. He gets out of those spots a lot.
He was in jams. If you told me, how do you think Blake Snell did tonight? And you didn't look at his box score at all, right? You had no clue what his box score would be. I would say, okay, typical Snell outing. And numbers might say that he was better, but again, high pitch count, only 4 1/3, base runners everywhere. That's not a good recipe for winning baseball games because you're going to be using your bullpen a lot in that situation then.
Right.
So if Blake went 5 1/3 tonight and this all happened, I would say it was a better outing.
Yeah, 5 1/3 innings. Yeah, I agree. I mean, because they will need length from the starting rotation in April.
Yeah.
If tomorrow Nick Martinez goes 4 innings, now all of a sudden you're taxing your bullpen.
Yeah.
And you know that Musgrove and Darvish first time out aren't going 7 innings because they shouldn't be.
Yeah, Darvish is going like 80 pitches. Musgrove's probably going to go like 85 pitches.
Yeah. So that could be a problem.
This isn't October yet. They're not going to say, yeah, you have another 10 pitches, 15 pitches, and when you're at like 90 pitches. Like the hook tonight on Snell was so quick once he hit, I think 94, or how many pitches did he have tonight?
I think 93.
The second he hit 93, gave up that hit.
Bye-bye.
I mean,
so he was working on a 90. He was working on a 90 pitch count. They gave him a couple more, and that was it.
90 pitch count. Melvin was already out to the mound before the ball landed in the outfield.
Yeah. It was over.
Right.
Yeah. And it's his first start, and 90 plus is reasonable. It's just you wish it with 90 plus he could get through 5 innings is what you're really hoping for. Bro Duke, what's going on, man? Thanks again for your membership and your support. He says he listens to us almost every weekday. We appreciate that. San Diego Sports 760. He says, keep up that great work in LFGSD. Thanks, Bro Duke. We do appreciate that.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Duke.
LFGSD is right. It's just one game. So LFGSD is 100% right.
I also don't want to be the person like you can look at it both ways. You can say, yeah, it's just one game, but also, yeah, that was not great. And like, you do not want that trend.
No, I don't want to see that tomorrow.
No, you don't want to see a trend
more hits
where the starters can't give you length, and if you're trailing in a game, you're not going to use your A team, so you're going to have to use the Chris Mads, the Tapias, the Wilsons, the Honeywells of the world to try to keep you in it. And that's not a good recipe at all. So
what does the rotation look like here? And here's the other thing. You're throwing Ryan Weathers in a couple of days. You're throwing Darvish, who you haven't seen. You're throwing Musgrove, who you haven't seen. Like, what's the rotation?
All right, let me check here. Hold on a second here. I know Martinez is tomorrow.
Just good.
All right, let me check. All right, you got Martinez tomorrow. You got Waka on Saturday. You got Lugo on Sunday. And you got Weathers on Monday. And it looks like you're probably going to have Darvish on Tuesday and then Musgrove on the 6th.
Yeah, you see my concern? It's innings. It's not effectiveness. I'm not concerned about them being good. And who knows? There'll be some variables there. I'm not asking them to be perfect either the first turn through the rotation. Nobody has to go 6 scoreless innings. They don't have to.
Right.
But my concern is already we're 1 game in. I'm worried about length you're getting out of your rotation. I am. I think it could be really tricky unless a couple of these guys step up and are able to give them, 5 2/3 really effective innings. We're going to need a couple of guys to do that. Otherwise, you're taxing this bullpen right away.
Yeah, and for 24 games in 25 days, over the course of a season, you don't want it to be taxing your bullpen that early. Because this team is better. I get it. Look what happened in 2021 when Jace Tingler literally used the bullpen for the most innings in the history of baseball.
Too much. Yeah.
Look what happened to that team. The pitching completely crumbled. Look what happened to last year's team when you had the starters in the first half of the season have the most innings pitched in all of baseball. And look how well that turned out for them.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you like? It's plain as day. You have your bullpen be overused for the first 2.5 months of the season, you're fucked. You have the starters give you length. The starters give you length. That helps you later in the season.
It really does.
Ryan, it's easy to see.
Ryan, thanks for hanging out with us. He says it's good to see us, John and Jimmy. He stayed up in Naples, Ryan. Florida for that. Wow, why? What is it, 120 right now in Naples?
Go to sleep.
You can watch the rest tomorrow, Ryan.
Yeah, don't stay up for this.
Thank you, Will. Some clap emojis in the chat for Will. Very generous, super. Really do appreciate it, Will. Good to have you back here in 2023. By the way, it's great to have the band back together. Everyone here, live run replay.
Yeah. Saw a lot of you guys at Blindboro today. It was good to see you.
Awesome. Baseball's back. Anytime you see us, by the way, Blindboro, Fair Play, anywhere around town, Petco Park, please say hi. Will says vibe was off all day, in my opinion. Could see this out coming from the jump. We're going to get everybody's best game all year. Curious to see how we handle having the target on our back all year. LFGSD. That is a really interesting and astute point from Will. That everyone knows the Padres are World Series contenders. Everybody knows the Padres spend more than anyone. Everyone knows the Padres have stars. And everyone's going to want to beat the Padres. Everyone wants to play well in front of 45,000 people. When you play games in Kansas City and there's 19,000 people there and you come here and there's 43,000, you're going to want to perform in front of crowds like that.
Remember what Bob Melvin said? Remember what Bob Melvin said last year at the beginning of the year when he was managing the A's and they went to Petco Park the previous year and it was packed.
Yeah, it was like a Tuesday, Wednesday. He's like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and he's like, this is amazing. And it was like a boost for the team, for the A's. I understand this point. Again, it's not like baseball, or not. I mean, it's not like maybe like basketball or football, where in basketball, if you're going up against like a super team, like you're going to give them your best, and it's one game, and the season's not as it's 82 games, still long, but it's not 162. And in baseball, you're only as good as your starting pitcher. Like today, yeah. I mean, anybody could shove at any moment, and you're like, what the hell? It doesn't matter if you have like Shohei and Mike Trout and Manny and Soto all on the team. If you have a guy that's out there, doesn't matter what his name is, that shuts them down, then that's it.
Yeah, but I'm with you, Will. It's kind of like when you play the Yankees or the Dodgers historically. It's like you want to play well. It's a bigger stage, but I'm with you. I think now playing the Padres, it's like people recognize that the Padres have become like the it team. So you're going to have to deal with that. They will have a target on their back. I think it's a really, really good point. And Will, thank you again for hanging out. Thank you for this very generous super. Our buddy Chad, by the way, while walking by, screamed Trainwreck Radio. I don't remember hearing it. Dude, it's hard sometimes when you're on the air.
Here's the thing. Today was a shit show.
Oh, it was like a complete shit show.
Because, and hopefully it didn't sound like that on the radio. And if it did, then whatever. But I mean, we're dealing with the rain. There was a band that was constantly driving by us
and like stopping right in front of us.
Yeah. So apologies.
When it was raining, there were like 100 people under our tent, like yelling at us for some reason.
Yeah.
There was one guy that literally I thought was going to like try to kill us.
Oh, dude. Like literally, we're like security.
Yeah,
we had to get security.
Please. So like, he was like screaming at us the whole time, like, "Dude, you got to bring in Snell." I'm like, "What are you talking about? The game hasn't even started."
Man, I was like, "Dude, you need to leave." But anyway,
it sounded like Jim, like when the team was like losing.
If you said hi to us at Blindboro and we didn't see you today, apologies. We'll be there all season long to make up for it.
Is this one on Faye, by the way? Because Chad's point is Faye in the chat. We need our good vibes. And then Michael says, I agree.
It's all her fault.
If anyone knows like Faye on social media, like get her in here.
Yeah, it's her fault.
Come on, Faye.
Come on, what are we doing here, guys?
All right, let me get to this generous super from our buddy Matthew Keene. Matthew, good to have you back, man. It's great seeing all these names and faces again to start another year. As the Padres again lose today to the Rockies 7-2, game 1 of 162, back Friday at 6:40. Nick Martinez on the mound for the Friars at Petco Park. Matthew says all's lost. Just kidding. Good energy tonight on Coaster Home. Got to fist bump y'all at Burrow while you were working. Rockies have this weird mojo against us. Let's go. That's very cool, Matthew. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rockies play the Padres well. They do.
Dude, they always play them well. Mm-hmm. It's just how it's just one of those things you can't explain. I mean, dude, this team can't win at Coors Field against the Rockies. They can't win in Arizona versus Diamondbacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's like, thank goodness they don't play them 18 times anymore. Like you're getting it out of the way. 4 games here. You have 8 games left for the Rockies.
Just lose them all now. Get them out of the way.
Just get it out of the way. Screw it. Who cares?
Matthew, really appreciate you swinging by. And yeah, the energy was, I mean, again, just walking around the East Village gas lamp outside Petco, the roars of the crowd. I mean, the Padres fans are incredible. I mean, they're going to draw 3 million plus, the Padres this year. Padres fans were incredible tonight. And those are the breaks. Even when you have 45,000 people, it doesn't guarantee that your team plays well or German Marquez is not going to be effective because he was very effective. We've talked a little bit about this infamous HNIC. Soto is a defensive liability. I agree with that. I do believe that Juan Soto is a defensive liability, and it's something that can be overcome by him hitting and reaching base safely, 45% of the time, hitting for power. But yeah, he could absolutely. And I think he was in the postseason as well last year. I mean, it is at least something to consider. He is not a good defensive outfielder.
John, he's a Gold Glove finalist. Respect the man.
But that was in right field.
Oh, that's right. Dude, I swear to God, if he is a Gold Glove finalist this year in left field, that award is already shit. It's stupid. But, man, that would be something right there.
It would.
Yeah, and Juan Soto, look, it's one game. I still think he's going to have an incredible year. But yeah, his defense will always be a liability. It just will.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, Aura. We need to thank another one of our partners. And for those of you that are here live or on replay, if you are looking to get healthier, if you're looking for a supplement that is plant-based, Aura is for you. Whether it's probiotics, I take them every single day for digestion and heart health. Whether it is pre-workout supplements, whether it's post-workout proteins, whether it is omega-3 oils. If you're taking a fish oil, take an omega-3 oil from Aura, okay? Cleanest on the market, plant-based. They have immunity pills and sleep pills, products for everyone, yourself, your family, your friends. Their co-founder, Will, has supported this channel for over a year. He's from San Diego. He is a massive Padres fan. They have offices in Liberty Station. So if you support this channel, please check out Aura. You can shop as you watch at ora.organic. There's a link down below. Again, ora.organic. If you use the code SPRING20, you'll get an additional 20% off all subscriptions. That offer ends April 1st. So use code SPRING20. You'll get an additional 20% off all subscriptions. Check them out, ora.organic.
Yeah, go there right now if you want to live a healthy lifestyle. Aura is the place to go, www.aura.organic. And all their supplements are plant-based and organic. It's the healthiest and cleanest on the market. I take their pre-workout, the raspberry lemonade flavor. It's delicious. Sometimes I think about just drinking it because it tastes so good. That's how much I love it. And it gives you everything you want of a pre-workout and everything that other pre-workouts give you, which is a crash, and doesn't give you this. That you get no crash after this pre-workout. You take it. So go there right now, www.aura.organic. You will definitely thank us later.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Aura. Thank you, Mark Nimitz. We'll tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Please make sure to get signed up for Underdog Fantasy. We're going to have plenty of drafts throughout the course of the year with Underdog. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Our buddy Johnny says, you guys heard it. Jim Russell trashed Soto's year. That means he'll have the best year ever.
Dude, 2 weeks ago, I said Juan Soto MVP.
You did. That was disrespectful.
That was very disrespectful.
I don't think Profar's playing tomorrow. He's not active. I mean, could he be? I don't know. Is he supposed to be active tomorrow? If he wasn't active today.
Remember when you read that tweet on air and it said that
he wasn't ready.
Profar's going to be gone for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think he's at like the spring training site.
Yeah, he just signed with the Rockies.
Yeah, and didn't he have a visa issue as well?
I don't know.
I think he did. Yeah, so I don't think we'll see him this weekend.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Probably for better, because if he was out there, the Rockies would have 22 hits tonight.
Yeah, probably. What else sticks out in this box score or just this game?
Well, John, that it's just the first game of the year.
Well, that's true.
Grisham at the plate, the double in the first inning.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see. Carpenter.
He ripped that ball to center. But was caught.
David Dahl did not have a good game.
Nothing. Yeah.
He looked bad. Tatis, I think, is going to be a little bit of an upgrade there.
Yeah, I think so.
But other than that, it's just kind of one of those games that you throw in the trash and move on to tomorrow. City Connect night.
Oh, already?
I think so.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. But the main thing is you do not want to start this type of trend early in the season.
Well, the main thing is what we talked about 10 minutes ago, which is getting length out of starters.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. In the first week, you're going to need a couple of guys to give you more than 4 1/3 innings.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. And get some leads if you do only go 4 1/3, because Melvin's not throwing out Garcia, and by the way, Suarez is not in there. So who takes Suarez's spot?
Mm-hmm.
So Garcia and Hader, you're not going to see them unless the Padres have a lead. And if you're getting starters only going 4 1/3, how do you bridge that gap to those two guys?
Good point. Big Island Bum with a really good point. Every Rocky had at least a hit, and 4 of them had multiple hits, and 3 of them had 3 or more hits, and CJ Cron had 4 hits and 5 RBIs. Has there been a better opening day game like in Rockies history on the road? I mean, that's probably an amazing game. 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs.
And 2 home runs?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of days like that. I mean, again, at home maybe, because their home numbers are crazy.
Do you think he's the front runner for National League MVP?
Yeah, I do. And I haven't watched the other 28 teams play, or the other whatever amount of teams in the National League, 13. But if he hits 800 this year and homers 2 times every game, I have a chance. I have a feeling he might win it.
Right. Yeah.
By
the way, Jake, Suarez got an arm issue. He's not throwing. And that's
right.
A little worrisome.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. Yeah, I'm not. Listen, the lineup thing just today, I like this lineup. It'll be better with Tatis, but I like Cronenworth in there 0 for 3. I like what Carpenter's potential is. We like what Kim did last year. We'll see about Dahl. But I have no problem with this lineup. I think that they throw this lineup out there more often. They're scoring more than 2 runs. It just wasn't a great night against a pretty good starting pitcher in German Marquez,
Dude.
And by the way, tomorrow's not the easiest thing in the world. Kyle Freeland.
The lefty Clayton Kershaw version for the Rockies.
Right. Exactly.
You're gonna need to get length out of. You need to get at least 5 out of Martinez tomorrow. You gotta put some pressure on the other, the Rockies here. You gotta score some runs. Everybody besides Xander Bogaerts needs to get going. I mean, get going. It's a fucking second game of the year.
It's been one game.
God, I'm such
like our buddy all day Ed says, overreaction Thursday. If you'd like to, okay, here's the thing. I want to see your hottest overreaction take in the chat, live or on replay. Give me an overreaction take. We've already seen him. Soto, he's trash.
I'm gonna put that out on social media. I'm gonna steal that from you. Okay.
Yeah. Put it from John and Jim, or from you. I don't care.
What's your hottest
overreaction take after game 1? Let's see. Big Island Bump says Snell, Kim, and Cronenworth are all overrated. Jake says 0-162. Pedro says he would let the Padres go winless this series if the Aztecs win it all. I think it's actually probably a pretty fair trade for the first 4 days of the season. Beef says the season is done, so it's not worth 150 mil. Chad says the Rockies are going to win the World Series.
Trade Manny.
Trade the whole
Trade
team.
The whole team and restart.
Oh my gosh.
Kim made an error at second today, right?
I know he did. He did. Okay, here's the truth. Like we said when we started, who cares? It's one game. But what you do care about,
you care, John.
No, what you do care about is making sure your starting pitching is going to be able to get you deeper into games. And I know you might say, well, John, it's one game, but I know who's still to start. I know Nick Martinez has not been an innings eater. I know Seth Lugo's not an innings eater. I know Joe Musgrove's coming off a foot. I know Yu Darvish hasn't pitched. I know Ryan Weathers was a train wreck a year ago. So, that's what's to come in some form or fashion. So I just hope that they're more equipped to go deeper into games than Blake Snell was here tonight.
Yep.
And Bogart's MVP is another really good overreaction. So is I miss Hosmer.
Oh, no. Stop that.
Oh, man. That is funny.
Oh,
all right, while we have a moment, Jim, can you pull up the Underdog Fantasy, whatever that's called, lower third? So new to the wrap-up show here in 2023 is our partnership with Underdog Fantasy. If you go to underdogfantasy.com and you use promo code PODSWRAP, you will get a deposit match up to $100. Okay? So promo code PODSWRAP, you'll get a deposit match up to $100 with your first deposit of $10 or more. So deposit $10, get $10. Deposit $50, get $50, so on and so forth, up to $100. The amazing thing about Underdog Fantasy, and we've already done a season-long draft with some of our viewers, and we're going to be doing more drafts, and we'll tell you about more, contesting, is Underdog Fantasy is just the easiest place to play fantasy sports. And the thing is, you have no league management with Underdog Fantasy. There's no trades, and there's no setting your lineup, and there's no waivers and all that BS, honestly. So you just kind of draft, which is the best part of fantasy sports, and then you can win, and you can win really big. They've got a dinger contest going on right now where you can win $100,000 for first place, $500,000 overall in prizes. It's an MLB contest. So again, promo code PODSWRAP. They will double your first deposit up to $100 in bonus catch when you make your first deposit of $10 or more. Go to underdogfantasy.com. Oh, yes. I forgot about that. I actually think the dinger has actually started. I don't even know if the dinger is still active because I think it was starting opening day.
Oh, closes on opening day.
Darn it. Well, today's still opening day.
Do some teams
Why am I still leaning like this?
I don't know. Oh, my gosh.
So join us on Underdog Fantasy, seriously, because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there this year. So check them out. I mean, $10 deposit, you get 10 free bucks, or $50 deposit, you get free $50. There's all types of drafts and contests, and really, really as good as the place you're going to play fantasy sports, underdogfantasy.com. All right, Jim, what else? Are we back tomorrow?
You're going to be in Houston.
Yeah, but I mean, I have the internet, theoretically.
I mean, yeah.
I think we're going to try to do tomorrow, barring an unforeseen circumstance. We're not doing Saturday.
No.
With Final Four, plus we don't do Saturdays. So just FYI, we don't do Saturdays. Otherwise, we would legit relationship girl would be ex-relationship girl.
She would not be anything. She would not be fiance girl. She'd be nothing.
No, she'd be, dating, Brian down the hall. Is what she'd be doing.
Shit. Sunday,
okay.
Probably
Chris
not.
says we got to do tomorrow because we need to vent or we're going to die. Or he's going to die.
All right. And depending on what happens on Saturday, the Aztecs win, 0% chance on Monday.
Right. We wouldn't do Monday. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But we're going to get going. What are the odds that the Aztecs are in the Final Four? I mean, this is unbelievable, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the schedule. Tomorrow, we're back with you.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how things go this weekend, we might be back with you next Tuesday.
Right. Well, we'll be Sunday. We're doing Sunday.
Okay.
We're doing Sunday. Sundays are some of the best shows we do. Sunday night, you're kind of wrapping up the week.
True.
People are getting ready for the week. What are you?
Nothing.
No, tell me.
No, I'm nothing.
Can you pull up our brand new merch, Jim, while we have a moment, because the season just started tonight? Maybe you want to wipe away your tears by purchasing some John and Jim merchandise. I'm going to get to this, Matthew, by the way, the super in a moment. So thank you for the super. Let's hide this comment as well. Okay. So I'm going to put a link in the chat. Okay. Shop. And here's the thing. If you shop tonight, 20% off all merch.
What?
20% off all merch if you shop tonight. If you're watching our replay, I think it runs through tomorrow as well. So if you're shopping for merch, if you're watching the wrap-up show live or on replay, great way to support this channel. You can wear the stuff to Petco Park. You can make fun of Jim. We saw Ben Fadden today. He had already purchased a Jim's an Idiot shirt, which I thought was really kind of him to do to support us. So we have the back of Jim's head t-shirts. We have Is That Good? We have Jim's an Idiot. Jim today was wearing a John and Jim t-shirt that you see in the top left there, that brown shirt with the white circle logo, John and Jim. So 20% off. Great way to support our channel and the work we're doing day in and day out. Season's here. This is really high quality stuff, by the way. Jim was wearing it today. Jim, you've been talking about the quality. Can you tell our viewers about the quality of some of this merch?
It's it's like polyester and cotton mix, so the shirts don't shrink when you wash them. It's not 100% cotton, and it's like it fits perfectly. It's not baggy. It's not like oversized. The sleeves aren't some like weird oversized. It fits perfectly to you. It's my favorite type of material for shirts. I'm a shirt snob, and these really shirts are to me perfection. And I'm not just saying that because it's ours. I'm saying that because I legitimately believe that.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I have not. You have them, but I don't have any as of yet. Do I? The new stuff?
No, it's like a polyester cotton mix. So they don't. It's just trust me, everybody.
Okay.
Just trust me on this.
Plus 20% off.
Yeah.
All right. Trust Jim. Very cool. Check it out. I put a link in the chat. Let me get to Matthew with this. Oh, there. Jim's got it on right now. John and Jim.
John and Jim. Let's go.
Pretty cool. You're Jim. I'm John.
That's true.
Matthew, thank you. Says the worst thing about today was that Bally Sports paid the Padres, so they get to keep airing the game.
God,
so okay.
Dude.
Here's the thing. So Eric Rupner, Padres CEO, was on with Darren. I found this pretty interesting. He didn't guarantee that Padres games would be on Bally all year. He said they've made some payments that'll cover a portion of the year. He doesn't know about the future. He did say that he also didn't know timing on this, but he thought that the Padres were efforting for games to be DTC, direct to consumer, where you can pay a monthly fee and get access to a stream, whether it's via phone, app, right, smart TV, computer. And we don't know the pricing on that. Is that $9 a month? Is it $19? Is it $29? But right now, if you want to watch the Padres, like I literally spent $100 on one stupid streaming company just for the Padres, this Fubo.tv.
Me too.
And then there's, DirecTV stream. Now, maybe you have cable and that's fine. And you have the Padres, but it's really cumbersome. And it's no longer on YouTube TV, all these Bally Sports channels. So it's really cumbersome. So I don't know what the future of Bally Sports is. I think they're going under. Obviously, Padres games are always going to be televised, whether it's through MLB.tv or some type of new property that comes out. But yeah, I mean, if you were watching on Bally Sports last year, that's where you're watching so far this year. But who knows what happens, later on this year.
Yeah, there's the term cord cutting doesn't apply anymore. It just doesn't.
Right.
Because
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Cord cutting means you go the streaming route. Like you don't pay for.
But it's hard to But it's hard to stream Padres games. Yeah.
You can't.
Hey, you just got to spend like $1 million. How
about this? I got an idea. How about get them on freaking YouTube TV? That'd be awesome.
That would be wonderful. Great point here from Eric. 19 games from Tatis. Great point. I love that.
Closer to Tatis' return, and they showed Tatis a lot on the video board today, so that was cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Chris, yes, we are, and by we I mean Jim is, and the shots on you. You can just buy Jim multiple shots because I'm going to be in Houston.
Buy me. I'd rather have a margarita than a shot. Just saying.
Okay, he wants a margarita, Chris. So get to Blind Burrow and buy Jim a margarita, if you don't mind, because you know Jim.
Yeah, I'm soft.
So Rich says we're going to be on the air post-game Tuesday. It's a Tuesday afternoon game. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Is it an afternoon game?
Yeah. Well, join us on San Diego Sports 760, and we'll see what happens, win or lose. Maybe we're doing a wrap-up show that night as well.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We got to wait till what happens Saturday, but a lot of moving parts here. So there's nothing really set in stone, honestly.
Okay, so all day Ed says if shots are on Chris, he'll be there. And now Rich says what time?
Jeez.
And Chris is going to be there at 3.
I'm not the morning show. I don't want to take shots during the actual radio show.
Right. Especially without me, you're going to be like doing a solo show drunk. Well, it's not solo.
No.
But still.
Brian, okay. If you don't mind me asking, what do you use to watch the Padres?
You might use Fubo.
Do you use Fubo?
And I agree, it's not good. The channel package is not good on there.
It's just
any chance Apple TV could take over in the future. I don't know that.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I might get direct. We tried Fubo tonight.
Yeah, it's not. And I'm like, it's not good. DirecTV Stream, I think, is probably better. Neither of them are.
I had DirecTV Stream last year, and it wasn't cheap. I mean, it was like $90,
$80-$90. Yeah,
but Fubo is like 110.
It's not great. Yeah, Brian uses Fubo. Yeah, it's not great.
I know the VPN route, Danny, but
yeah, the VPN thing. Yeah, it's a possibility. How do we pick Blind Burrow? That Bro Duke is via the sales team.
Yeah, we don't pick. They tell us.
Yeah, exactly. So last year with the Blind Burrow and Fair Play a lot late in the year.
Yeah.
And now this year with the Blind Burrow and Fair Play a lot. But we're also actually Saturday, Jim's going to be at home and away in Old Town. So if you're tied up tomorrow, but he's going to be there from noon to 2, watch party for the Aztecs at home and away, Old Town, which is a great spot. Really good spot.
Yeah. And honestly, if you were to ask me, like, where's probably the best spot to post up for Padres games, like Blind Burrow is my top of my list. It's like right at near Petco Park. It's perfect, right across the street. Great food, great drinks, great atmosphere. Like, I don't think you can beat Blind Burrow, in my opinion.
Right. There's a lot of good spots. Like Vector said, Al Smith has been good for the Aztecs. Fair Play was great last year in the playoffs for the Padres.
Novo,
I'm a big fan of home and away.
Novo, and
that's a great spot. Novo's a great spot. Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, guys. So we're going to be back. The plan is to be back tomorrow night. Again, Friday, game 2.
We will, Matt.
John and Jim will be there tomorrow, 3 to 6 without John, but with Jim. So please swing by. And it's actually 12 to 6. Darren will start at 12. We'll go. And by we, I mean Jim. Until 6 p.m. So swing by. Also, please, guys, subscribe. Year-round Padres content. All we ask, if you're a Padres fan, if you're a baseball fan, if you're here, just subscribe. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for your support of our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have any insurance needs, I'm talking auto, home, renter's life, whatever it is, he can save you up to $750. There's a link for Mark's website down below. Aura, if you're looking to get healthier and you want to support this channel, they're co-founders of San Diego and ORA.organic. Check out their plant-based products. And UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Get a 2-time deposit match up to $100. UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code PODSWRAP. All right. Mama said there'd be days like this. Bounce back day tomorrow behind Nick Martinez. Hopefully, 6:40 start time. Not all is lost. It's only March 30th. There's a lot of baseball still in front of us. Now, if they lose tomorrow, Jim might freak out. All right.
If they lose tomorrow, I'm literally I'm quitting. I'm not doing this anymore, and the season's over.
Burn things.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will see you tomorrow on the radio at 3 o'clock, and then tomorrow night right here on YouTube on the Wrap-Up Show. Please subscribe. Happy opening day.
Wah, wah.